Welcome to Coyote BD Paints Miniatures. I am Coyote BD and this is a clip from my Twitch stream on twitch.tv/CoyoteBD. I've edited this clip to focus on painting non-metal metallic on just one part of the miniature. Thanks for putting up with a bit of focus issue. I'm improving, so consider liking, subscribing, or commenting to encourage me. My working theory for non-metal metal is to paint the reflections of an imaginary environment surrounding the miniature. I know that the common advice is high contrast, smooth blends, but I think that neither are necessary for non-metal metal. Instead, that is like a copy of a copy. Non-metal metal is a copy of nature, and most people are looking at that copy instead of real metallic objects in the environment. The first thing I do is mix up a color to match the darkest brown reflection and apply it to all surfaces that are facing the ground. I then mix up a lighter version of that same color and apply it to surfaces that are facing closer areas of ground. Light falls off 4 times for every doubling of distance, so reflections of closer surfaces will appear lighter. I continue doing this, using opaque paints and solid layers, painting closer and closer ground reflections. I find 3 layers is a good place to start. At this stage I am not blending, I am just sketching in my values and colors. Once I am happy with my ground reflections, I mix up my sky reflections in the same way, painting different values of layers depending on which part of the sky is being reflected. The sky is much lighter near the horizon, becoming a deep blue at the apex. Again, I am not blending at this stage. By working opaque, I am able to quickly adjust the start and end of my transition so things look right when blended. To judge, hold the miniature further away and squint. If it looks right, it will look good when blended. If it doesn't look right, blending will not save it. Don't believe the lies that blending tells. It wants you to waste your life using 100 glazes to move a poorly placed transition. I like to watch traditional art videos on YouTube, and one concept I've learned there is to break painting into 3 sections. First, block in your colors, values, and shapes. Get them correct, overpainting if necessary. Then, work on your edges, which in our mini painting world is blending. Blending is a small change compared to blocking in. Finally, details, which is the small marks to create texture or add sharp details. For miniature painters, that's usually edging. Yikes, this edited video is moving quickly, and we've already missed a bit of blending, so I'll give a quick explanation. Leave a comment if you want a fuller tutorial. Call to action! The first part of blending is taking the different values I've mixed previously and combining them, then painting that new value on the edges to smooth them out. I'm still using opaque paints here, but I'll let you in on a little secret. I rarely clean my brush when I'm working with values. This means some mixing is happening in my brush and helping me blend. At some point, you won't be able to make a smoother transition just by mixing paints and adding layers. I know I've reached this point when I start making the blend worse. Now it is the time to work with glazes. Glazes are an important tool with acrylic painting, and they are the acrylic equivalent to oil paint wet and wet blending. I've pre-thinned some matte medium with flow aid so that it flows like paint. A lot of medium is thicker than paint, and I don't want to deal with juggling how much water I add for thinning versus how much medium I'm adding for transparency. Any matte medium works. I like golden super loaded because it is the most matte I've found and the price per volume is good. For my first glazes, I don't want to go fully transparent. I'm not here to paint 100 coats of glaze. While I'm sure this isn't correct, I think of the first glazes as being half strength. I want to see a difference when I stroke my brush, but I don't want a fully opaque coat. When glazing, I always try to finish my brush stroke in the same color that's on my brush. The end of the stroke leaves more paint in a very slight gradient, and we want to take advantage of that, not fight it. So I will continue working this way, again, not cleaning my brush that often to let the residual paint add some variety to my marks. Also when doing this, if I am close to white in my highlight, I try not to glaze with the lightest color. White pigment is strong, and you can help avoid a grainy or chalky look by glazing from your middle highlights into your brightest highlight, instead of from your brightest highlight into your middle highlight. Once I feel like I can't improve my blend further, I'll add more medium to my paint, making a very subtle, or full, if you will, glaze to smooth out the last little bits of rough edges. Once I'm happy with my blend, And how far I go here will depend on whether I'm painting a gaming piece or a display piece, or if I'm tryharding for the Conquest Discord to get them to notice and respect me. It's time for details. Here, details are things like painting the occlusion shadows, the dark shadows that occur where two objects meet, and the edge highlights. You can see that I have been applying edge highlights as I go. This is not the full spectral highlight. A spectral highlight is as strong as the light source it is reflecting. If you exposed your camera to take a picture of a light bulb, it is the same exposure you would use to take a picture of the same bulb in a mirror. So, I bring this right to white, and there should be no other surface that is as bright as this. I say right to white, but sometimes I'll add a little yellow if I'm highlighting a cool surface, just to get that extra oomph. And that's it. That's how I paint non-metal metal. This wasn't a comprehensive tutorial. I've skipped things like where to place spectral reflections, or how angle of incidence changes things. I've also ignored, since the surfaces here were so small, adding additional reflections to add interest and detail to the surface. We are imagining an environment after all, and who isn't to say that there isn't something bright in the perfect spot to create a highlight where you need it. Thanks for watching. Please, I know this is the third time, but I am a small channel. Subscriptions, likes, and comments make a big difference whether I continue making these videos. So if you like this, please find some way to let me know. That said, thanks to Craftsman, Bill Burke, Anythong, Arnan Kularaja, XDevonX, Red Leo, Pat G, Thanos, Demonclaw, Dave Art, Craig Parent, Ryko26, BMH, Robert, Henry Campbell, and Supreme Tims for commenting on previous videos, and to the 102 subscribers who have trickled in over the years. Everyone has encouraged me to make more videos. You can find more content from me on my Instagram, tyler.probic, or by following me on Twitch, where I infrequently stream around 10 p.m. Eastern. I don't have a schedule though, so it's best to follow me on Twitter @CoyoteBD, where I post go live announcements. Thank you and have a great day.